Yes, I'm always avoid tempting fate by being too explicit about future plans. Because the important thing to do is to be flexible and to be able to change your mind day by day. You don't change your principles or your values, but you've got to be able to adapt your position and your stance according to what's coming at you and how things change. You've got to stay centered, but you've got to be able to move your center. And I think the idea is that we want to do something quite dramatically different for the next Deep Purple record. And I think the only things that we're looking at really are nebulous ideas that have been discussed. There are things being thrown around, but there's no point talking about them because they may change. But interestingly enough, we do want to bring in an outside producer. Roger's totally in agreement with this as well. We feel it's time for a bit of objectivity, a new perspective. And we feel the time is right. The band's feeling good with itself now, and it's good to capitalise on this. I mean, God knows who it's going to be, but it will obviously be somebody that we're going to be able to embrace, not squeeze the life out of, nor would we expect our lives to be squeezed back, but it's a sort of open-armed embrace that we're looking for, so we can all sort of just find something which has not just another collection of songs. There's no problem with writing songs, there's no problem with playing them, and there's no problem getting enthusiastic about them. But it's just a new angle, and I think everyone needs that from time to time. And this band is certainly not afraid to try things. So maybe, who knows? I'm not saying too much.
Yeah. And one last question. You obviously still love working on the road.
Mm-hmm. Someone said the other day, "You're going to rock till you drop," or something like that. And I said, "No, I'm going to rock till I roll." And I think there is a certain dignity that you see when people are losing it. Fortunately, we're not surrounded by sycophants. So I know perfectly well that we're going to get... We have a lot of criticism and a lot of active participation through our fans, and they tell us what they think.
Do you mind that?
No, I think it's very healthy. I've seen what sycophants can do to artists, and look no further than Elvis, who was surrounded by guys who just told him he was brilliant all the time, and he wasn't. He was the greatest voice I ever heard in my life, including opera singers or whatever. I think Elvis, the young Elvis, had the most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my life, of any singer, in any genre of music. But this kid lost it, and no one put him right, because no one would say, "Elvis, that long, wavering vibrato is awful, and that latest album you've done is garbage, and that latest film you've done sucks." And no one would have let him get that far. No one should have let him get that far. And that has happened to a lot of other people. I was the biggest Elvis fan there ever was, but I couldn't go and meet him when I was invited to meet him in Las Vegas. I couldn't bring myself to do anything other than cherish the dreams I had of Elvis when he was a kid. I wrote a song called Poor Boy Hero, which is about Elvis dying a couple of years before he did die. And I idolized him. He was my hero. But he also gave me things, warning signals of what not to do and how to avoid losing it, really. So as soon as those signs appear, and I probably won't recognize them because I'm so full of myself and so full of life and the band and everything, it's so exciting. But someone will tell me.
Your wife?
My wife will certainly tell me. Gavin, she'll say, "Call it a rest, call it a day, go fishing, or write another book," or something like that. Or write songs, or whatever. It's a very high energy thing, and whilst we've got it, I think we'll carry on. I love singing, and as long as I can hold a tune and enjoy it, I'll do something. And even maybe when the power stuff starts to diminish, then I'll find something else, more melodic. Maybe some of the stuff I was working on with Roger and things like that. Maybe hey, there's nothing wrong with slowing down physically. I think it's a normal thing. But right now, everyone's very potent and very alive. And I think the physical thing and the mental thing go hand in hand. And I think the more alert you are, the more you're going to want to go for it, you know. And So right now I'm enjoying it very much. So I'm going to rock till I roll.